recently visited Benin Republic, and Benin Republic is one of those countries that is located in West Africa. In fact, it's towards the south of Nigeria. And so if you're curious about learning more about or a glimpse of Benin Republic, then please stick around until the very end so that you can learn a little bit about Cotonou in general as a city. And if you ever find yourself in Benin Republic, then you definitely want to visit Cotonou because there's a lot to see. And also Cotonou is very close to several other sites that you would be interested in for sure. So in the first place, flying into Cotonou, one of the things that you will notice is how clean this city is. This city has been really, really well kept, and it was very fascinating to see for an African city to be as clean as this on the streets. One of the things that you also would notice is how hot and humid this city is. Now, Cotonou is not the capital city of Benin Republic. In fact, the capital city is Porto Novo. And Cotonou serves as the economic hub of Benin Republic, which is quite vibrant in terms of the things that are happening within the city center as well as the outskirts. There is a lot that is going on in Cotonou. And now Cotonou obviously dates back in history and has been built for quite a long period of time. And one of the things that you'd also notice is how the new buildings and the old buildings have blended in all together to create the cultural experience and the historical experience of the local life in this city. So this city, Cotonou, is one of those where you will find a lot of activities happening. For example, I found out that one of the biggest ports that is in Cotonou actually exports things like palm oil, cotton, and you could see also there's a lot of activity on the Atlantic Ocean because Cotonou is surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean and has quite the beaches, the great beaches of Cotonou. And the beaches in Cotonou actually have palm trees planted on the beach itself, which was very fascinating to see. Now, there's a lot of fishing activities that also happen within Cotonou, and you could see that even the ocean also serves as a source of fishing activities for the residents of Cotonou. So typically, the normal day life in Cotonou serves just like any other African city where you'll find people just going to work, in various places, also having their own businesses. Like, for instance, you could see also in the market, in the biggest open-air market known as Dantokpa Market. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Obviously, it's maybe in French. There's a lot that was going on where there's a lot of people selling food stuff, handmade crafts, fabrics, and all these designs, which was very interesting to also have the atmosphere of the sounds and the scents that capture the daily life in Benin. Now, beyond Cotonou, I had a chance to go to Ouidah. Ouidah is one of those cities that is quite rich in history because it serves as a site in the transatlantic slave trade and also for the traditional voodoo that is deeply rooted in Benin. So we went to Ouidah, and I could definitely easily feel the weight of the history as soon as we got there on the door of no return, which is actually symbolic in Benin because at this door of no return, this is where transatlantic slave trade would occur, and if someone found themselves on this particular door, then they would not be coming back to Benin, which actually shapes the culture and the history of Cotonou for sure, because it is, for me, was one of the things that offered a very deep connection to the past and how this country was actually built. Now, one of the things that I also quite enjoyed away from Ouidah was the longest mural in Benin, and I was told that this is actually the longest mural in the African continent, which I never knew about. And this mural actually showcases the stunning street of art that tells a lot of stories about the heritage the resilience, the modern creativity, and these vibrant murals run all the way about 900 meters plus, going and going and going. And these murals are a testament to the country's thriving art scene, and also how committed this country is actually to celebrating culture and preserving it for sure. So this one was one of the things that I really, really enjoyed. Besides that, there is one of the statues that you cannot even ignore that is known as the Amazon statue. And the Amazon statue is actually one of those statues that, shapes this city, because you can be able to see how it has been built. It was very recently built, and it was unveiled very recently in 2022. I believe this is a 30-meter tall statue that stands out in the city of Cotonou. It's very easy to see it. How it has been actually constructed is one of the things that was the highlights of my trip, honestly, because it is quite a short distance from the Marina Place in Cotonou City, and you can easily access it, and it shows how proud this country is of its history, because this statue is actually to honor the women warriors of Dahomey, because this is one of the places where there's a lot of history that needs to be preserved, because this country, Benin, is one of the centers that, had a quite a powerful regional kingdom known as the Kingdom of Dahomey. And the country is now becoming more and more eager to actually honor its historical heroes and heritage, which was very fascinating. This statue actually was one of the things that was the highlight of my trips, and it actually represents what they call an agudi, or I think a minon, which is a term that refers to people of military corps, or entirely that is composed of women. So it's like a military corps entirely made up of women, and these women were actually admired for their bravery, which is one of the things I was like, yes, go Benin, go Benin. They are honoring the women. So this was one of the highlights, and I think also the environment just within this statue is quite nice, because right opposite it there's the American Embassy, the US Embassy actually, that is right opposite this statue, and it actually makes the city feel as if you're just entering the city, and this is the statue that you see. Right after that you have the art mural, and then you can go into the city and get to understand it better. This was very fascinating to me. Now, my experience in Cotonou was very enriching, and I got to actually see how much of the potential that this country actually has, because it is interesting to see how clean it is, the beauty of it, how vibrant it is. For a country that has about 30 million people, this is quite fascinating. And so my impression was one of whereby the people are very nice, the weather is very warm and very humid, for that matter, but there's a lot of beautiful beaches, a lot of things to actually do. So the thing is also about the proximity of Benin into other West African countries, which makes it quite interesting in terms of development in the future. And so what I could see, and my impression from visiting Cotonou, was that Benin is just more than its past. It's more than its history. It's more than all the things that happened in the past, in the centuries. And it's actually a country that is on the rise. For me, I think it has a lot of potential in several sectors, and especially things to do with hospitality, its cultural richness. These are stories that need to be told often. And the development that you can see in terms of the buildings that are upcoming, the construction activities that are going on in this country, actually made me feel that this country has a very promising future in the recent years to come. So we should definitely be on the lookout for Benin. Now, the energy also of the people and how they blended the traditions and how, well, they blended their, all their beliefs. Some people are actually Catholics, others are Protestants, others are, are Islam, others are voodoo believers. And so the blend of all these cultures and religions was also one of the things that actually was a highlight for me. So why should you visit Cotonou, or why should you visit Benin, in other words? So if you're one of those people who is curious about the African continent and, various West African countries, East African, wherever, then Benin is definitely one of those places that you actually want to visit so that you can have a feel of West Africa. And the good thing about Benin is that it's very easy to actually access in terms of the flights, even from within the EU. It is very easy to actually access. And if you're also drawn to things to do with the French culture and the lively street food, and if you are maybe actually visiting a neighboring country like Ghana or Nigeria, then definitely Benin is one of those places that is easy to swing by. And I believe that Cotonou is one of those places that is quite vibrant and will give you a better overview of Benin itself. And I think also the fact that Benin is actually one of those countries that looks as if it is very well kept in terms of their systems and also in terms of their hospitality. Like I said, I think it is one of those countries that has a lot of potential, and it's one of the places that, you definitely want to look out for in the near future. If, for instance, you're looking into investing and if you're looking into, just collaborating with other countries, then this is one of those countries that, you definitely want to go and see for yourself. So I think I felt quite at peace with Cotonou, and I felt quite that, it was easy to access. It was easy to go around. One of the things that I noticed is that the public transport, you really want to either get a car or go around with the motorcycles, which is quite easy. They are easy to access. They are cheaper means of transport as well. Just as we have in Kenya, we have our bodas in Kenya. Cotonou has their version of their motorbikes. And I think one of the things that I also noticed is how well they follow the good rules, where they have helmets. They will definitely be very well protected as you go on your motorcycle. And this is one of the things that I actually noticed, which was quite one of the biggest highlights. So just to give you a glimpse of Cotonou, and if you ever find yourself, please make sure that you visit it. Visit Cotonou, visit Ouidah, visit Ganbi. I spoke about Ganbi in a previous video very recently, so please go ahead and check that out. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Obviously, it's just a very small glimpse of Cotonou itself, and also a disclaimer that my camera was acting up as well, so this was some of the excerpts that I found out. However, I am always very appreciative of you who watch every single day despite the camera shakes and all these kind of things. So please go ahead and subscribe and like this video, share it to somebody else who could benefit from it, and keep subscribed and keep checking out other videos that I actually post on this channel. So until next time, bye.